I'm currently having a hot flash. And I'm filming horizontal and I can't stand it. But I thought I would test it out. And I'm already hating it because I feel like I don't know where to look. So if you see me look over here or over here, it's because I'm not used to filming this way. Okay, welcome back. This one is a little different. I am hosting a decoupage and drink night at my house this weekend with my daughter, who is 20. And I thought I would have a little craft night. I've been trying to plan this craft night for almost a year. And I've been collecting supplies for a year. And so I thought it was about time that we use those supplies, use it or lose it, and have everybody over. Originally, this craft night was going to be 4 to 5 women. And then it turned into about 15 to 16 women in my backyard, which I'm excited about because I love to host. And my daughter is having some of her sorority sisters and local friends home from college for the summer over, and I'm having some of my friends over. And it's just a great way for us to try something new, get crafty, have fun, have some cocktails, some mocktails, and hang out stress-free, out of work, out of our busy mom lives, and just have fun. So I thought I would share with you where I got the stuff, what we're gonna use, how much everything was, and my hostess etiquette for when I'm hosting friends over. Everybody is different. You might have everybody sort of do their own thing, but this is how I host, so let's get started. So I've invited everybody over and I've told them just to bring themselves. I did not want anybody to provide supplies or money. I feel like when you host, you should provide either all of everything or a majority. And that includes like a charcuterie and, you know, my mocktails and cocktails. So I'm providing mocktails for those that don't drink and for my daughter and her friends, and cocktails for those that maybe want to have a little fun, extra fun on top of what we're doing. And so we are going to actually be doing little trinket dishes with oyster shells. So we're going to be decoupaging shells. So here is the shell that I tested out. This is a shell that I got off of Etsy. These oyster shells are so beautiful. The woman that I bought them from lives in South Carolina. I'm super jealous. I live in the desert, so I'm nowhere near the water. So if you live near the beach, you should be collecting shells and selling them on Etsy because it's lucrative, apparently. And we're gonna get to how much I spent on the shells in just a second. I also got these oyster shells, and I did this one with one of the collage soup Eclectica translucent papers, and I'm obsessed with it. And so this is just a scallop, but we are going to be using a majority of the shells that everybody's going to be using are going to be the oyster shells. So let's get started on the supplies that I got and where I got them. Okay, so I've been hoarding napkins for, like I said, a year. Every time I would go to HomeGoods, which is where I got all of the napkins, I would buy more napkins because I thought, I'm going to have this craft night, and then I never did. And then I said, you know what? I've got all these freaking napkins. We're hosting. And so what I do is I go and get, you know, they range from like $3.99 all the way up to $5.99. You can also check them on sale, or if you have an abundance of cocktail napkins, which we all do, we're turning into our mothers, I would just grab those and then put them out on the table. And so you guys can see the different patterns. I have literally been collecting for, like I said, a year. Just different fun patterns. So look, I'm looking here again. I should be looking there. So that way everybody has a variety, and I wanted people to just have fun with the patterns and different funky patterns. I also have some Halloween napkins that I'll probably bust out because the majority of us at this craft night are waiting for Halloween. And so here is the variety of napkins. And again, HomeGoods, they range from $2.99 all the way up to $5.99, and I've just been kind of collecting for about a year, and you can tell that I desperately need to get rid of them. But I wanted everybody to have a variety. So the next thing that I got was at the Dollar Tree, and these, obsessed. Little mini modge podges, and I bought a case because I'm crazy, and they're $1.25 each. And so the idea is that I wanted everyone at their place setting to have a bottle of Mod Podge and a couple of brushes along with their shells. And I thought it would just be really fun and cute for everybody to have their own individual Mod Podge versus me running around with a gallon pouring it into these trays. And so the Mod Podge was $1.25 each at the Dollar Tree. They do have them in the craft section. I bought a case. I'll probably go back and buy more because I'm obsessed. The other thing I got at the Dollar Tree were a variety of brushes, and these are for the edge, the painting around the edge, like the metallic trim, and for Mod Podging, whatever people want to do. Maybe they want to paint designs in there or whatever. I'm going to provide that. But these were also $1.25, and how many brushes are in each? 7, 7, 5. So 2 have 7 and 2 have 5. So these are just the smaller brushes for the edging. So I grabbed these as well, $1.25 each. The other thing that the Dollar Tree had that I loved were the little trays. And so there's 6 in each of these, and I got a few. And this will be used for the metallic paint and the Modge Podge. And there'll be one at each place sitting with their brushes and their little Modge Podge. So again, $1.25, $1.25, $1. It should be called the $1.25 store. Why is it called the Dollar Tree? One thing that I already had was the metallic paint for the edging. You can see that I used here as well on the shell, and I also added glitter because I'm crazy. But I'm going to be putting that into those trays as well for them. So I already had that. That was from Michael's. Now we're getting into like the bougier part of what I spent for certain items. So these actually came from Amazon, and they're linked in my crafty idea list on Amazon. These brushes were $25, and I think there's 32 in the pack. And the reason that I bought so many was because I want to use what's left over, because I Modge Podge a lot and I collage a lot with some of my spreads, and so I love having extra brushes. But again, I didn't mind spending the money on these because I'm going to use the leftovers, and I wanted everybody to I wanted them to feel special. I'm hosting. I'm going to give you my total at the end of this video so you know what I spent on the supplies alone. But I, again, love to host, and I don't mind. So I thought it would be really fun for these girls to have these brushes solely for the Modge Podge. This is what I use when I Modge Podge. You're going to trash the brushes anyway, so don't spend a ton of money. Dollar Tree is your friend. And finally, the piece de la resistance, the shells. So I purchased my shells. You can see that I got the like cup style oyster shell, and I purchased a 50-pack, a box of 50 oyster shells from a lovely seller on Etsy who lives in South Carolina. I mean, look at this one. This is actually like so, I'm gonna save this one for me. This is funky. But I wanted them to have a variety, like a few shells, so that they have different options when they're creating. And so the Etsy seller, I spent $50 on the shells. This was a majority of what I spent my money on. She has options for 10, 20, 30, 50 shells. She has options for like the flat oyster shells. I got the cup because I want these to be trinket dishes. She has the shells that have the holes drilled in them so you can make them into ornaments or whatever. But I chose to do the cups with the 50-pack, and so it was $50. So if you live on the beach, this is a lucrative business on Etsy. But I also chose to shop small because I didn't want to purchase shells from like a cheapy website and then have them be plastic or break or brittle or just not good quality. These are literally from the beaches of South Carolina. She's cleaned them and the sun bleached them, and they're perfect. They arrived in like perfect condition. And so this is this. And so in total, I spent about $100 on supplies for my craft night. The shells were a majority of that total, $50 for 50 shells, but they are in perfect condition. She shipped them quickly. I like to shop small when I can, and I love that they were authentic oyster shells, and that I had the choice to choose between the cup or the flat. She also has them in the different size varieties, so like 10-pack, 20-pack, 30-pack, 50-pack, 100-pack. So the shells were a majority, but I wanted to be able to provide this night for everybody, especially for my daughter and her friends who are college students and don't have a lot of money. I did not mind providing all the supplies. And again, saving that money where you can by going to the $1.25 Tree or Amazon or wherever, and just having fun, and then also providing the mocktails and the cocktails and like a light charcuterie, because the point of the evening is to focus on the craft and just having that fun time with each other, that stress-free time away from like mom life or work or college or whatever. So hopefully you guys tune in and follow up. I will be posting a short on Sunday morning, the night after, but I will be filming in between having fun with my friends. I will be filming so that you can see the place settings, how I laid everything out, their reactions, what they created, how they did it, all the different varieties of shells, and just everybody having fun. A lot of these women have never decoupaged and have never attended a craft night, so I'm really, really excited to host with my daughter. And so hopefully you guys love this type of content. I get asked all the time where I get my supplies, how much I spent, and where I come up with the ideas. Again, this idea has been brewing for about a year, and I finally stopped sitting on it and just planned it. So if you are trying to get together with your friends to do a craft night, it does not have to be bougie. It can be very simple. Everybody can bring their own supplies, or you can do like me and go crazy and host and provide. I would love to hear your craft night ideas, and if you're the type of hostess that provides for everyone, or if you do more of a potluck style. So hopefully you guys tune in and hit subscribe and follow up this weekend after decoupage and drinks.